The following video was pre-recorded on twitch.tv/codedman9000. More information on the stream times at the end of the video. Previously on Stone to Space.
For the start of Chapter 3, we went to Kerbal Space Program to learn how to make rockets so that we could explore the stars for a new home. We began playing on career mode while not knowing anything about what we were doing. After doing some research off-stream, we then moved to the science mode with newfound knowledge. We went to both moons, created communication networks, planes, science missions, a space station, and then ended the game by traveling all the way to Duna in the Antari ship.
After arriving at Duna, our ship the Antares fell apart, causing us to land on Duna and mine its resources so that we could fix the Antari ship. We unlocked various buildings, and also different types of science. After fixing everything but scanners on the ship, we then left the planet behind us as we continued to travel in space. Partially during our space flight, we landed on an asteroid. Over the course of a few hundred cycles, we had mined out the asteroid, converting its resources into various things that we needed in order to keep 24 dupes alive. We made a lot of automated machines to take, cool, or convert items into other items. We then turned on a machine that would allow us to take a dive into the dreams of one of our dupes. After our first Dupe Dream and Vintage Story, we came back to Oxygen Not Included. We then used our rockets to go to different asteroids. We went to a water-filled asteroid, a lava-filled asteroid, and we also went to a frozen asteroid to get our final crop. After going back and forth multiple times from the water and lava asteroids, we made our last and final endgame materials. While doing this, we also finished upgrading our main base, and also found both the Temporal Tear Opener and the Temporal Tear. Hello and welcome to a Twitch Plays Along series called Stone to Space. Today we're in Chapter 3, Space Travel. Today we are playing Timberborn. And we are back. Welcome in Slab of Bacon, another person that I know from someone else's channel. I am now just seeing that you did the error emote, and I did not see that earlier. Also, I need to put a noise on something. So earlier Percuss came in and said hello. Hopefully I answered your question, Percuss, on how the Beavers are doing. I now just noticed that Oz redeemed put on the crown, and I did not see it until just now. So Oz, we're putting on the crown. And let me see when the next ad break is, because I don't want you to be only getting like 10 minutes of the crown since I missed it. What we do for the crown, for the redeem, is I wear it until the next ad break, which will be at the beginning of the next hour, or about 6 minutes after. So it'll be about 50 minutes. For the rest of the day, even after streaming? I don't know. It could. But I also think it would be funnier if I had to go somewhere. That should be like a goal. So for those that know Regus does a thing on his channel where he does, I think, 20,000 points. And then he has to make a fancy tea, just so that he has to try every flavor of his teas. We could do something like that, where I have to then wear the crown. Going to work would be easier, because I'm around kids, so it wouldn't be as much of a thing to not want to do it. So maybe something like going shopping with the crown on would be more of a reason to wear it, or redeem. I'll think about this off stream, and I'll bring it. Wear a camera so we can see the looks. Oh, I have a GoPro somewhere with a chest thing. It's like overalls, and you put the camera in the center. Kind of like how a cop has a body cam, but it doesn't look like the cop stuff. I could probably wear the GoPro. We'll brainstorm with this off stream. I'll see some of the other streamers think about it. But we're now going to go over everything that's happened while we're on break. And first thing I noticed is that the metal thing is ready. So I want to know what the difference between scrap metal and scrap metal efficient is, and I'm going to guess that it's the amount of extract that goes in. So if I switch, yes it is. So if we use 2 extract along with the same amount of planks, we get, I guess, more scrap? I didn't pay attention to how much scrap we're getting. I'm going to guess the extract doubles it and gives us 10 instead of 5. So anyway, that's going to take treated planks daily and extract daily, so we're going to definitely have to make more of both of those. I did now notice that we have a storage in, and it's starting to get bad water, so we really only needed 2 more pumps for the time being. We're still working on this, because that takes metal planks. That's going to be for the canola oil, which is empty as far as I can see. These are not empty. That's because we're... Why are we filling it still? I'm not sure what's going on there. We got a majority of the stuff done over here, and we can actually see the... What is this called again? Motivatorium. It pretty much just shows the whole life cycle of the beaver colony. So they come in here, they're making the pod for the new beavers to chop down the trees. They make the houses. They make more pods, more trees. And it looks like that's the end of it, and it just restarts. That is pretty cool. I like this. And here is the wind tunnel. We can also see that they have stuff on their tails from the detailer. So that should mean that we're getting close to having the max thing here. Yes, we are. They're just starting to use the wind tunnel because it just got finished. It looks like we didn't put the mud bath down. So we'll have to do that. I think we were detonating this so we can make room for the mud bath and also for food. So we'll get that. What are we doing over here before I get rid of this path? We were getting these set up. So I'm going to pause that for a moment. We are going to come over here and dynamite this area before we go back to doing that. And I think I will dynamite all of this up to that staircase. Should be able to reach everything. Checking all the explosives on the very edge to make sure that we can. It looks like we can grab all that dynamite. So they should be working on getting that started now. This says no path, because I rotated the wrong way. We're going to delete this and rebuild it. May be a waste of stuff, but oh well. Canola, hauler. All that, please. This doesn't have to be on high priority, but I do want it higher than whatever else I built after that. We do have another grease factory, so we have 5 grease factories. We should be now getting backlog. We are keeping a little bit of a backlog. And what are we slacking on? I still don't see bad water. So I'm going to add in another pump. For some reason it's flipped. So we'll add that in there. And aside from the levee dam system going on over here, I don't know what else we are building. We got up to 64. So yeah, we only have 2 more things to do. There is also a Kangaskong in chat if anyone's another Gen 1 Pokemon. So we have the mud bath and the final thing to place in. And that will be one of everything. We might have everything done by the end of the stream. I still don't want to put that on regular priority just yet. Because we're still struggling a little bit here to get everything done. Give me 1 second, someone's calling me. I'm just making sure the person that's calling me is okay before we continue. Okay, they're fine. I want to know why they're doing this, like, spotted thing here. I guess because they're low battery that they're not getting all the way over here quick enough. These are apparently too far away. I looked at these and assumed that things would not be close enough. If I do that, can they still reach? No, it's a distance of this way. Now they can reach both of those. So these two beavers are probably doing these two that are out in the open. Let's get somebody to pick up that debris. They picked that up very quickly. I was not expecting an immediate cleanup of that. And congratulations, Gene, on catching Kangas Kong. Trying to figure out which one's going to be doing these two. That one's probably going to do this one. Oh, no, it's the furthest one. Okay. Good. They rebuilt this, so that should be getting filled with canola oil over time. Although... canola oil right here. I'm not sure if we're making enough. We might have to move stuff around yet again. Ah, that's why I destroyed these. So I was going to move them over one tile so we could have the two buildings back to back. Alright, chat. We're going to move these over again. Oh, that doesn't stop. Wait a minute. Cancel these. What's in here? Food. Okay. If I go like that, then the stuff won't get placed in there again. We need to move this path over to line up with this. We need to destroy that path. And then add our food in again. So now that leaves a 2-block wide opening over here, which these buildings can fit in. That's algae Russians. We need to do the first two done. And then we can move this. Just this. So right there. And I prioritize the items. Not this. We also don't need these. That was just a temporary placeholder. Once we have these three buildings, the power will go through this way, so we can freely destroy stuff up here without having to worry about it. We are getting a little bit of canola oil, but I want to put in another building to make sure that we're making enough. Our extract is going down a little bit, so we might want another extract building, which we can fit in here. It's a centrifuge. So I'll place that in. Just so that we can make sure we have it. And they probably finished the dynamite now, so let's destroy the dynamite. Actually, they're missing one. Where is this one beaver? That's metal. I don't see it. I'm not seeing a beaver with that dynamite, so we're gonna destroy this without that dynamite placed in. Actually, it is placed in. Okay, hopefully nobody comes up here. Demolish that. So now we can connect this all the way in like this, and I'll destroy these two paths. And I don't want to make that a high priority, so to get that done. So now we're going to add in the food. Right, those by haulers. So we want stuff that's down here. This is the edible food group. So we'll have kohlrabis, mangrove fruits, fermented cassavas, fermented soybeans. Then we need to go to the other side for 4 more buildings. 1. Oh, that's misplaced. 1, 2, 3, 4. This will be the fermented mushrooms. Then the corn rations, eggplant rations, and algae rations. We'll start with that. Now that we have that stuff, we're going to come over here. And first, destroy that and add it back in, offset by 1. And I want to add in some of the same storages over here as we did for the food in our home area. I'm going to stick to staying over here. So I'll do 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we would need storage or platforms, so let's do that. Can't put a platform over a staircase. That's only 1 tile high. We'll go to right there. This down to there. We go there. So this is going to be... We have a storage for all of this stuff. We don't need storages for that. We have a storage for these. We don't have a storage for the fermented stuff. We don't have a storage for the rations. Do we need these storages for anything? We don't use resin for anything, so I think we're okay with these. The next thing is this. So we definitely want 1 more liquid storage over here for coffee. And that will allow us to see if we're making enough coffee as well. So we'll go back over here. We'll add in 2 more large liquid storages, which I think we don't have enough room for. No, we would need 1 more tile. So what I'm going to do instead is have them like this. This will be agua. This is coffee. That's grease. That's coffee. We also need the paths going down here. And that should be it. Now this, I'm gonna tell them to stop putting stuff in. And as they build the storages, we should be emptying these. We're still not getting enough bad water from up here. Like we're getting a little bit, but then we're using it. So just like the grease, we're gonna add one more. Let's see if that helps. Grease, we are starting to get a little bit of a backlog. But it's still not enough. So let's also just add in one more of these at a time. We are starting to get to the max of our bots. I think our bots are just dying off. Or it's a charge problem that they were built so quickly over time that they're all their batteries are going low, which means that they can't all charge at the same time. So this is just them spreading out their charge times. I wouldn't really consider this a death wave like we would have if it was City Skylines, but it's kind of a death wave. We don't need to add more charging stations. Maybe we do, now that I say that. We're gonna leave it be for a little bit. Hopefully this goes away over time. There's not that many people waiting in line. It seems maybe like up to 10 beaver bots are waiting for the charger. So pretty soon they should be just walking straight in here rather than waiting. There's now only 3 people waiting. So it's not too bad. If I continue to see people still not getting charged, I will increase how many charging points we have. And we are starting to get all the food over there, so how is this area doing? Empty, empty, empty. All this is emptied. So let's get all this picked up. Same with this. And now with all of this, we should be getting a stockpile of all our food increased. And our canola oil is pretty much emptied out. We definitely need more canola oil. So let's get rid of that. Why didn't the power go through here? Okay, we're gonna have to add in an emergency power pole right here. While they're doing that, I'll tell them to pick up all this. I thought the power would have went through this corner, but it looks like the power has to go from the center of the buildings. I guess that's an extra difficulty. So that's back to working again. And I should be able to add in a canola press, oil press, while they're doing other stuff. How are we doing on bad water? Can I see it over here somewhere? Or is it a liquid? No, it's up here. It has its own thing. And I actually want this done and this done more than the stuff over here. we have the grease going. We don't have anyone working in it for some reason. Like, it's not doing the animation of someone being in it. There's people assigned to it, but nobody's in it. And I'm starting to get the feeling that we actually do need more charging points, because this seems like it's not going down. So we want science, charging station. Oh. Well, that's different. Our paths are messing this up a little bit. We'll do this until we need to add another building. And I'm gonna high prioritize that because we need that for the beavers to work. Or for the bots to work, I mean. Down here, they got... I want to say this is halfway done. I don't know if this is exact same length as the left side. But they got a pretty far distance done. I'm gonna tell them to put 8 dams up here. So what are we saying is the middle? I think this is an odd number. It is. It's 9 blocks wide. So let's split it. Just for looks. Actually, that's 10 blocks. We'll go right here. Because we have 5 from this mountain, 5 water sources, and then 3 from the smaller area. So if we put them together, obviously that makes 8. That should always allow the water not to back up as it comes out. No, this is saying it doesn't have power. No, it doesn't have a path. And that should allow more beavers bots to get charged. Now it does mean that we are going to be using more power, which we are struggling on right now for some reason. I don't think we really increased our power consumption. Maybe we did. Maybe we did it just enough. I am not sure. What I do know is that this is filling up with coffee. So I think we're doing enough with just two of those. And they finished over here. Pretty sure I can get rid of this. And still be able to place in this. I don't think they need access to this in order for them to put in this. Let's say it's too far away. Oh. This needs to be an ore gate. That's why bad water came down. Good thing I caught that. And then it floods a little bit because it's pushing the bad water out of here. Okay, good thing I found that out. Now, why is this too far away? I guess really because of that. So what I'm gonna do is put in a ladder over here. Or staircase, I mean. We'll have to get rid of this. And then that will allow them to get up and do this. They can do that whenever, but that also means I can get rid of these. And also these. And can add in the other power wheel. Too far away from district. We need some sort of ladder getting up there. No, we should be able to get it from here. What? Oh, no, that's not connected by path. Now we can grab that. Yep. And this too far away, but once they do the ladders, they can reach that. So they do need the connection point in order to build these. That is good to know. I might sneeze. I'm waiting to pause or to mute. Just with that little bit of power adding to this, or charging, we went back to having 25 available Beaver bots. And it really does look like we're gonna have to move stuff around again. So what I'm gonna do, now that I thought about it, is just put all the food factories over here. And we're gonna change up what they're making. Hopefully that gets done soon. It's not a growing issue, right? That's corn. We're not out of canola, right? No, we're not out of canola seeds. We could put a canola seed storage over here. That might help so they don't have to run far away. And by them, I mean the haulers. So I think what I might do is put a storage right here for canola seeds. And then start building the buildings down here. I don't know if power goes through storages. Is there one of those storages that I can see connected to power? These aren't connected. I don't think the storages connect by power, so we're gonna make sure that power goes through these buildings. They finished the water one, so they should be adding water to that. Coffee, I think, is going to fill this first and then go to the other storage. I'm not sure. I don't know how they prioritize where they're storing things first. I would hope that they store things by whatever's closest. But I don't really know. We are getting a backlog of bad water now, so that seems like the right amount. Our extract does seem to be still going down, but we did just add a couple things that use extract. And it looks like our plank buildings are not really being used. There's a couple people that are just sitting here doing nothing, so I'm gonna get rid of these. We'll put another centrifuge right here in the middle. Luckily, we have a secondary way of power being connected. Didn't I mean to connect this all the way? I think I did. And then I just never did it. Let's get another centrifuge right here. That should help us stay afloat with the extract. Doesn't this use bad water? It does! That would be another reason why we're running out of bad water. And they're working on the power supply, so that makes a little bit of sense there on why we're not building the other stuff. We do need more power, so I'm okay with this being done. I do have to start worrying about how we're going to add power in this area. We would need double there, single there. Then we have enough room for that. We can just keep the power up in the air till we get to the river. That, I think, would make the most sense on how to do things over here. So right here, we want the third tile. We can't build that because the canal is right there. Not the canal, the bridge. That and this. So if I look at this, it would be there. Here, we could add in one more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'd have to move the power a little bit, which wouldn't be too difficult to do. Then we could add a two-way bridge right here. That would stop the power being able to be put in right there. So what I'm going to do very quickly is I'm going to destroy the power connection right there. We're going to add this in really quick. Too far away from district, Beavers cannot reach. Because we need this as well. So this power is no longer connected to anything. So while we're waiting for them to do that, let's add in the rest of the power spine. So right there, that should get us to the point where we're making more than enough power. If we're lucky. There's a Diglett in chat. Apparently I've never caught it before, so you may have not seen it before. Since they can't get down here into the river, I'm going to add this in to make sure that they can get into this portion. And I think I'll do the same up here to make sure that we can get power in this area changed if we need to. So we're definitely going to have to change the power network right here. Which won't be too difficult, we just have to follow the path underneath here. So I'm actually going to destroy this path here. Not right there. Right here. We are going to do this. Once that's built, we'll get rid of this corner. Now that's able to be worked on. That should be getting focused on after this is done. The power network should be all connected in again. We're almost making enough. Congratulations, Gino. You caught the Pokemon and I did that. Alright, what else are we doing? I think it might be time to turn this up to normal, so that we can get this done. Now, our planks are dropping very quickly. But I don't see every building working. I think it's because our percentage went down. For how much power we're making compared to how much we're using. And I made all the stuff, so let's change this to corn rations. And get this stuff moved around. I want these built immediately. We also want a storage over here for the canola. And then because I don't think the power will extend through there, we're going to do 2 oil presses over here. These are the only 2 things that are important for us to build right away. We're slowly getting this done. I built one building, they're doing the next one. We also have some power that we can place in. What are they waiting on for this? We just need somebody to do it. We need somebody to come over here and hammer it a couple times. There we go. We're back to making coffee again. They can do the other stuff on their own time. We don't need it done now. And the storages, they're getting pretty full. They're almost done. I think the corn rations is completely full here. No, it's just very close. And as days go on, that'll get finished, and then they'll start putting it over here. How's this doing? It's getting there. Slow process. We have 2 staircases here. I just noticed that. I think it's because we had the floodgates over here. Don't really remember why. That's the coffee. We're waiting for the other coffee thing to get filled. We have 104 beavers. We have 24 homes empty. I wonder if the coffee gives them like a buff that allows them to work longer in the day. That would be fun. And look at that. Does it say anything about coffee in here? No, it just says it gives you a +3. But everything is pretty much full on every one of these bars. I'm a little hesitant to do the mud bath right away. This is still not getting filled. We're gonna hold off on that. Why is this not being used, though? They're not doing anything. Oh, it's the canola oil. I forgot that the grease uses the canola oil. We might end up taking some planting area from here to make it into canolas. The bad water is about halfway filled. It doesn't seem like they're not building anything out here. Oh, this is ready. That's not ready. That's regular prior. Oh, they're doing this. So how are our gears? We have enough gears. Like if we stopped making gears right now, we would be able to finish this building. Treated planks? We have 78 in storage, so we can't finish that right away. And metal blocks, we're probably... Oh, we're a little bit more on metal blocks. So we're getting that done. We just don't want that to be the highest priority thing. I think I want this to go back down, so that they stop focusing on it. That stuff is more important. Wait a minute. You were just building from right here. You didn't go to this spot. Why couldn't I do that before? That's annoying. Oh, this is also making almost 700 power. Because of how much flow rate is coming through here. They're also doing the platforms, so pretty soon we should have our power connected in. It looks like these two slow beavers may be bringing over the last amount of planks for that one last wheel up there. Which should increase us up to almost 13,000. I don't know if it's going to be over. It is over. Wow, look at that. So if we finish all of this, we will have power for days, I hope. What else? We do still have this stuff. Grease is kind of being made at a reasonable pace. Our canola storage is not emptying yet, so I'm going to hold off on making more crops. What I should probably do is tell them to stop growing in here. So we'll take 5 away from here. And by 5, I meant a row of 5. They're putting in the power now. I think it's safe to destroy this path when nobody is on it. And then I'll do the levee system here. That'll move all the debris to a spot where they can actually reach it all. They only have about 4 more pieces of power before they can complete this. Hopefully nobody blocks themselves in here. Okay, good. With that power being put in, we can get rid of this. I also need to put levees there so we can grab all that. So now that's all done. Still waiting on 2 one-log things to be built. Now that increased us over the top of what we need. So we're just going to come over here and preemptively add more. Because we are adding more to here. This should now be getting filled over time. This should be prioritized by haulers. I'm not sure why I didn't do that already. But hopefully that gives us a little bit to stockpile. Which then in turn gives us more grease. I'm still not happy with how much bad water we have. Where are you going? Oh, they're over here building this. They built the top layer here. I don't know why I'm still over here looking at these. They're not going to do that fast. I don't know if they're over here grabbing the corn as quickly as we need them to either. So we may need them digging things up later on. And with us turning this on and off, we are keeping a stockpile of the things that we need to build this with. Something that would help is if we had a larger storage for these treated planks. Instead, the planks are only the, although it says large, they're the equivalent of a medium warehouse. So we actually don't have a lot. Same thing with the metal blocks. I think I might want to add in another storage or 2 of both. What if I come down here? We can't build underneath there. That's okay, we can go like this. And then we can use this to be another storage of both goods. We're still trying to build all this. "21 bots are out of power, but we have 27 available for those bots to switch out with." Our coffee right here is completely full, so that means we should be filling up this, which we almost already have. So just 2 buildings is enough to fill 106 beavers. Our canola oil is going up a little bit. Our canola itself is low. We are losing canola, so let's start growing it immediately. The farmers can still grab the food that's being grown here if they get to it before the builder bots. If we need to, we'll do the same thing as we're doing here, but over on this side for the eggplants. I wonder why they skipped that one canola oil or canola seed plant. We're just waiting for one more plant to get taken care of. Someone did it halfway and then left. Cool, what's going on with this one plant? There we go. Let's also tell them to dig up over here as well, because I feel like we're going to need all of that. And we won't focus on them digging them up. We almost have these storages full. I think 2 of them already are. The kohlrabis and mango fruits, that makes sense because they're growing fruits. Or growing things, they're not processed goods. We do have a little bit of canola oil in here, but I think we're using it as much as we're making it. We can also probably get rid of these. We'll use all this stuff for something else. Which means that we can make this look a little bit better. We'll have to wait for them to finish that though. What are they doing over here? Actually, how much power are we doing? We're making a little bit more than what we need, so let's go a lot more than what we need. We do not need those 4, but we're going to place them anyway. I'm debating on if I should make another hauler's hut or hauling post. Because we do have 32 beavers, and we could probably use a tiny bit extra more help. Just moving things around. So I'll place this over here where it should be out of the way the longest. In terms of things that are running low, we're running low on resin. Which is just because of the amount of trees that we have here. We could take some of the berries area. Because we're not using as many berries. So let's grab all this. And our canola is definitely ready to be planted over here. Why aren't they planting up there? Oh, we can't reach them. Okay, well let's cancel the plant command, I guess. Can you not reach this either? No, you did. Okay, never mind. Alright, this is going to need a forester nearby. So we're going to do the platform trick over here. Oh, we just got a lot of canola. And by a lot, I mean 36 pieces. So we're definitely making enough now, but we need to make enough canola to supply that. That should mean that we get more extract. Oh, no, extract is based off of bad water. We're slowly catching up. And now all the grease factories are going. So that might be getting caught up a little bit. I think we're ready to make the mud bats over here. Now the mud bats take dirt every time they get used. Or it's dirt per hour? It is dirt per hour. So it's half a piece of dirt per hour. So if we put 4 down, we would need 2 pieces of dirt per hour. And I think these machines do more than 2 per hour. Yeah, we could supply 8 mud bath places with one of these dirt excavators. So we're gonna... These are very small. I remember them being bigger. Which means that we're gonna need a path. Or an elevated area, I mean. So let's do it like this. We'll elevate this way. Don't want it like that. Let's go over here. That's also not what I want. I want the rotated one. Or just this one? This, we want the regular one, but rotate that way. Just like that. That should give them the last thing. I don't know how many we need. We might not even need all 4 of them, but we'll have them just in case. We're definitely stockpiling on canola oil. We're running low on canola seeds, but we also just planted in more to grow. They're working on the forest over here so we can get more pine for pine resin. Grease? No idea if we're making enough or not yet. This needs to be increased to full. We haven't even needed to turn on this 6th bot factory yet. I am starting to get concerned that we're not pumping enough bad water still. We're also taking a lot of power away from these by pumping so much of the bad water. Building lacks power. This takes power? Well, we have power right here. The paths are going to be changed when they put in the platforms. How are they doing way out here? We're getting there. They put in the forester so that guy's running around doing the things occasionally. How long do these take to grow? 9 days. Okay. They should be close to being done. If anything, we could make this all canola as well. We're just waiting on 1 log to be supplied to right here, which is probably the slow-moving beaver. Or not. Why did you go down the supply instead of just doing it from up here? It's only a tiny bit odd. I also have been wearing the crown for longer than needed, so I took the crown off. Oh, they also added in all the power over here. Oh no, I just realized something. It's a drought, which means that we're relying solely on this area for power. And it does not give us a lot of power. Cultivation halted. Hydroponic garden. Oh. Probably not enough water or nobody in there. Cultivating halted due to lack of workers or water. The crop will die soon. Yeah, we're struggling a little bit over here. Luckily, when the drought is done, we will go back to recharging immediately because our stuff runs on water. We did get finished all this, so we're going to have an immense amount of power available to us. These are about halfway done. This is done, so what I want to do is get rid of all this, all this. Of course, per usual, pick up all the debris. And that to me just looks better. So now all we can do is really just focus on this. So it looks like they're doing all the levees before they get into doing this, which is fine. I think I'm going to just say do that on medium or regular priority. And I'll do the same on this. Because I don't think we have anything else necessary that we need to build. Maybe more bad water pumps, because this is getting a little low. Our canola is starting to catch up. So our only other issue is the amount of canola seeds that we have, which we're growing more. So hopefully I started planting them at the right time. Grease we don't really need to worry about. So I'm going to grab the rest of this and start placing in everything else. Apparently we need stairs to get up here, right? Yeah, because we're going to flood this layer. New well-being score of 65, which means that our beavers are using the mud baths and they are enjoying it. $66. That's just them adding more to this. So let's see how much of these we actually need. If we take a look at them, the mud baths, we can see how often they're used, and these need to be prioritized by haulers. So we'll see over time if this goes up all the way. I am not really sure what we should be focusing on right now, chat. We're having a tiny bit of an issue because it's drought. It should also mean that this starts draining out. We're up to a well-being of 67. I'm going to assume that it's going to go up to 68 for this one thing. Yeah, it looks like it's going to go up by 0.2 max. So we could get to 68. Because I don't think anything else is... Actually, this is off by 0.9 or 0.1. This might not go... I don't know. And then I have no idea how much well-being this is going to add when we actually get the Earth repopulator. Our water supply has gone down quite a bit because I can actually now see the top of the power network here. And we've never actually dug through this completely. This one should be at the max lowest point. This one isn't yet. The worst part about the stuff over here is that the majority of the beavers coming over here are all dead batteries. So they're taking forever to get over here. But the stuff that's left to do is just using hammers mostly. We need 3 beavers to bring over 3 logs for each of those. I'm getting tired of clicking on the tree, so let's look at it this way. It's another beaver. Okay, so everything in here except for this one that's not highlighted needs 1 beaver each, and then these are all just now starting to get built. We're really close to finishing this layer and being able to keep the water level up to this height. I think by the time our drought is done, we will have the levees finished here. Since there's not really much for us to stare at, I've been focusing on this, but... Is there anything else? Is there probably... Yeah, they did start working on this. It should still be a lower priority than the other levies, so they shouldn't be focused solely on this. But I do want to see if we can finish this in another half hour. Because if we can get all that done this stream... You know what, chat? Let's do a poll. So this is a yes-no question. Do we finish this game today, which we only have 2 things to do, which is finishing the top layer of levees over here so that the water level goes up to the highest point, and also finishing this earth recultinator, or repopulator? That's the only 2 things we have left to do. Of course, charging the beaver bots is a priority because we're losing people to work with, but that'll all be fixed after the drought's done. If yes, that means that when we go to our next stream in 2 days on Thursday, we would be going back to Auction Not Included, where we will be doing our final thing for our main asteroid, which is to open Temporal Terror. I don't know how long that's going to take us, but since that's the last thing for Auction Not Included, we will then be starting a new colony after doing that. If no, that means that we don't focus on... that we don't finish this or try to finish this game, this stream, and we come back to it on Thursday, which, if we finish it early in Thursday's stream, we do double games. So we do Timberborn until we finish, and then we'd go into Auction Not Included. Still, I can guarantee that this is going to be done before Sunday's stream, so it's either going to be done today or Thursday. But that's the question. It's a yes/no. You guys will have... You know what? Let's do 5 minutes. You guys have 5 minutes to vote on if we finish the game today, which means that we'd go past our 4-hour mark if this isn't done within the next half hour. The fact that we don't have a lot of beavers doesn't really help. Or charged bots, I mean. We do only have... Oh, we don't even have any levees left to do. So they finished that whole layer. They should still be coming over there to build the remaining levees, because I don't think there's more... I don't think a lot of people are still over here. How many bots are here? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11 bots. It says that there's only 8 workers. So that's not this amount. That's when it's fully built. It will have 8 people working there. Now, taking a look at our beavers, we have 111 beavers. We have 6 adult pods, which are the advanced breeding pods, which at this point in our colony, I think means that each one of those breeding pods is providing us about 20 beavers each. Now, it may be closer to maybe 17 beavers. Actually, let's do the math on 111. Because I know if it was 120, we would have an even split. Actually, 112 is an even easier thing to divide by 6. We're getting about 18 2/3 of a beaver per breeding pod. And I think that number is just going up to 120 as we have all this stuff provided. Our max number went down, actually. I'm not sure what's going on there. I think it's just that our numbers increased, so... Why are you... Oh, nobody's in here. Let's get somebody in there, because I want these planted. Because it takes time for them to grow, and then it also takes time for them to grow the stuff. They have picked these up already, so we should have more seeds than we did before. Going off of this, we did get more seeds. So that should be increasing. I'm not sure if it is or not. We'll see as the days go on. I want to know why this is not being done yet. There is a stunk tank in chat. This says 106 beavers are out of power. 32 places are unstaffed. But that can't be right, because this is 60 workplaces. So I don't know. We only have 2 more days of drought, though. And this is not being worked on at all. Alright, how are we doing on each one of the things that this takes? Gears. We have enough gears. Treated planks. We don't have enough. Metal blocks. We have almost 300. What if I put this on max priority? Will they bring stuff over quicker? Because it seems like we're lagging on bringing things over here. It's not a matter of them taking too long to build the stuff, it's them bringing the stuff over now. Aside from, you know, the treated planks needing to be made. And there is a thing over here that... Oh, it's the grease. Okay. We're making a small amount of grease. And one person voted on the poll saying that, yes, we should finish this game before ending the stream. So that's what we're going to do. I just need to get this to be built faster than it currently is. And I don't know how to do that, honestly. They have more than enough gears. They could just bring all the gears over and then finish that third of the building. I don't know if it's haulers bring items over or if builders also bring items over for this. On the other hand, we only have one more day of the drought, and we can also get rid of this stuff. Can they get down here? They can. So let's get rid of all that. Grab that stuff back. Now when this grows up, it'll start growing resin so that this doesn't empty out completely. I don't know what we're currently... I think we're using resin solely for the treated planks. So I'm not sure if we would actually run out or not. Either way, I'm hoping we don't. I do want this made along with this building, and it's not being made at the same time. I'm gonna guess it's because of us not having enough beavers. Because the beavers are waiting to charge. But once we start getting this power back in, we're gonna shoot up in the amount of power that we have. We're making about half the amount of power we need, so we're running at 50% efficiency throughout the entire place. Trying to think of ways to fix this. So, you know, with the folktales, the first group of beavers that you have, you can make windmills, which are temperamental. They don't make power 100% of the time. They'll turn off and on occasionally. But they at least run during every season, unlike the water wheels. We do have the engines. We don't have any engines set up that we could use. So we're going to do the math on how many engines we would need if... once we find out how much power we need. So I already forget how much we actually need. But the drought is over. So we're going to start getting more power again. I can already see the demand's going up immediately. So we should be charging beavers as quickly as we can. We already know that this amount of chargers will keep up with the amount of beavers we have, so it's just a amount of time waiting. And while that's happening, this is not enough water. This should be getting worked on a little bit quicker as our beavers get back. I'm hoping that this number of 45 vacant jobs goes down quickly. We're down to the 20s already. So we've already halved just by waiting maybe 3 minutes. Or waiting a whole day. Let's do it by that. So by the time we're done the next day, we should be back up to full force in our beaver bots. We're already less than 15. Oh, no, we're going up a little bit. We're fluctuating here. Now we're under 15. And we're almost full force again. And now we are. Now we have extra beavers. Or beaver bots, I should say. So we no longer have to worry about our beaver supply. We are still filling up our water area, so this should not be overflowing yet, but it should be getting close. Not actually sure. This is a lot of water to refill. So we were at 5,000 power before. We need 15, so we need about 10,000 power by engines in order for us to survive during a drought. Where can I put enough engines to make that much power? They make a max of 400. $10,000 divided by 400 is probably going to be 25, but I don't know the exact number to that. It is 25. We need 25 engines. They're a 3x3 building, which equates to we need a large area. We could probably fit them all on this island. If we get in here and dynamite the whole thing. And I'd want to go down to this layer. And if we need more space, we'll add dirt to this. So let's do this by one layer at a time, just to make this a little bit quicker, because they won't need as many dynamite. Or they won't need as much extract. Actually, for this top section, because there is something that's at the next layer down. Okay, never mind. I prioritize all of that so that they do that over top of doing this. Oh, which now has changed what it looks like, so they've added in enough stuff that it changed. Are beaver bots coming to do this? I don't know. How is our canola seeds? That's full, pretty much. And then we still have to fill this one, so we're doing good on canola seeds. That should also mean that we're doing better on canola oil, because that is going up slightly. Which should mean that the grease is going up slightly, so I don't know. I get the feeling that we're going to need even more grease, or more canola. Still bad water. We're still not filling the bad water, but I'm not sure what we can do about that. Oh, are we filling this area in yet? No, but we should be close to topping over this dam, which will then flood this area down here. Are they not able to get over here or something? I made that high priority and they're not over here doing that. Oh, because this is high priority. Just make that one step up and not the highest priority. That would be why they're focused on that rather than making the levees along with that. Maybe I want that medium priority then. Or regular priority. So they do that and the levees at the same time. Is this gonna overspill yet? I don't know. It looks really close, but at the same time it takes... There it goes. It does take a long time for it to get to the point where it overtops that. They are very quickly coming through here. I want to get rid of that because we don't need that path. It's going to take a while for it to fill in the other areas, so I'm waiting. Welcome in, Leofar. That poll is biased because of me. It's fine. Or because it's you. That's fine. One person voting on it is enough for me to decide what we're going to do. And one of my earbuds died. So I'm going to put that in the charger. My other bit of earbud should follow it soon. This water is filling in the fish, and then it'll start overflowing that area. So we went down about half a tile throughout the entire map in just evaporation during a 7-day drought? Or was it 9 days? I don't know. Greece, we are staying above 0. We're just waiting for the fish to overtop because it will spend time filling this in, but I think it comes down this little ravine and starts filling down here at the same time. Yeah, it definitely comes down here too. Okay. Still don't see them doing anything on these levees yet. I'm not sure how I want them to prioritize doing things, but that's filling in. That's going to take a little bit long. They should be doing these dynamite. They are. They're bringing this stuff over now. Filled that in already, so it's now solely filling in this area, which will go up to the point where the dams are, but it won't use the dams because it's going to go over the walls. So right about now, it should start overflowing. It will make these into islands, and it will also go up this river, or what will be considered a river now. And we don't have to watch this fill in completely. I'm just waiting to see it fill in all the spaces, or flood all the spaces. So it's not going to go up here because there's two different blockages here. And then we have the dam right there. But this is another step into finishing one of our things. And the other earbud just died. Right, so we have dynamite here. Get rid of this. Oh, didn't mean to go that way, but alright. Do all of that. It would, in fact, be quicker for me to just do the increased dynamite so that we're getting rid of 2 layers at once, but I think it takes an equal amount of more time to place down that dynamite than it does to just place in one at a time. And I want to get rid of the berries that are dead there so that they can grow back. Luckily, the beavers do this very quickly. And that should be the last 4 bots coming up here to build these, unless they run away before finishing. Oh, we don't need these. Why did debris get shoved over there? It went way over here. It was right next to this ladder, so why did it go over there instead of just right here? That seems weird. I think I might start telling them to build this in... Oh, we're also going to need to get power way over here. I don't know how easy that's going to be. We do have floodgates holding water in here. So I really don't want to use this as a power supplier going through this entire area. That's how I usually play. I will make paths or platforms at ground level and put the power in the ground, so that the tiles that the power spine is in serve 2 purposes rather than just one. It's the same way that I do paths on top of the power spine up here, only it would be inset into the ground. We are getting a decent backlog of canola oil. Our bad water, on the other hand, is not doing too good. So I am thinking that we are going to do something controversial with this. And where we come out here, and destroy all these trees. That's step 1. Step 2 is to dynamite all of this. and then levees. And what that's going to do is allow the bad water to fill in this area as well. And we're going to pump from it. 'Cause I don't think we need to go down a layer, right? It should be able to fill both sides. Oh, they can build from up here. I don't have to worry about the levees then. I do need to make them be able to get all the way across here, so we'll do something like this. Okay, how is the dynamite doing way out here? It's completed. So we got even more dynamite. This should still be getting worked on, but I'm not sure. They're almost done putting all the gears in, so I think this is a thing that haulers supply to. Also, our metal blocks are halfway done. And that's surprising because we're always running low on metal blocks. Our treated planks are about halfway, but not really. And they haven't started doing any of the levees over here yet. I'm not sure how many people actually have to be here to do stuff. We'll ignore that. This is what I meant to go to. I went all over the place. We're almost done all dynamite there. So then after that's done, I want them to focus on this. So we can have more bad water pumps. Which also requires me to not dynamite these two. So I actually need that there. We need paths here. Now I'm going to just put in 2 bad water pumps as a start. Now it seems like they did all the dynamite way out here because they're doing all that. It does look like we have 2 beaver bots coming over. Yeah, there's 2 slow ones. So we'll give that a little bit of time before we focus on it too much. We are staying afloat with our canolas. We've been stuck at 800 for a while, but that's also because we're not finished creating a full stockpile of canola oil. So we should be doing okay. Now they're doing the levees in the wrong order because I deleted this one and then replaced it. So I'm hoping with me making that a higher priority, they won't come down here. There we go. We do have the ability to dynamite this, but I want to finish this levee first, which is probably waiting on this one beaver bot right there. And I'm gonna guess that all the dynamite over here is done, so hold your ears. Grab all that, and then this is gonna take a couple trips for us to finish. So I'll try going right in the center, and then we'll try and cover the entire thing. And of course, this is going to be high priority because we're trying to get that done. That is the second to last plateau we have to dynamite there. This is ready, so let's dynamite this. So we should fill this up a tiny bit and then drain out this way. Hopefully 2 more is enough to fill this in a little bit better. How is our food storage? We are slacking on eggplant rations and fermented cassavas. The rest appear to be full. I don't know if they are. Going off the numbers... Well, berries we don't have to worry about. It is just the eggplants and the cassavas that aren't at 2.4k, which would be 2 storages. So that should be getting done. If we look at eggplants over here, we actually have the ability of grabbing more, so it's down to the speed of the processing thing. And we are currently past our 4-hour mark. So we're going to keep going, see if we can finish this off. We're almost halfway done with the treated planks on this. So I think it's time, while we're focusing on that, to get them doing this at a high priority. We'll just do 1 section there. Oh, we finally got to another thing I can put in Firebot. I finally ran out of balls. We're going to duplicate this. I'm going to do this while we're streaming. Could have been, and then this needs to say which actually this could all just be 1 sentence here, not a different command. And then this will say Pokey Shop Ultra Ball 30. Okay, as a test, I'm going to copy this and type that in. That did not trigger it. Why did it not trigger it? That's the thing. What if I just press play? Okay, it does purchase it, but it looks like it just won't work with me saying it. So anyway, I now have an auto capture command going on in the background and an auto shop command. while I was doing that, they finished 2/3 or 2/4 of this circular plateau. They haven't started doing any of the levees, which is fine. And this is about where it was the last time we looked at it. Can they not reach these? They can't. Let's do one single path tile right there. Then they can reach everything. But they're going to be a tiny bit faster, so I went quiet for a little bit thinking it would be done a little bit quicker. Would it be worth having charging stations throughout the power spine? Not sure. I'm also wondering why this one dynamite right here has not been done yet. And they're working on the edges instead. They should be able to reach these too, right? No? Really? I have to go down just one to get that? Alright, that should be done soon. That should mean that they're working on the levees, which they are. Oh, I need to put that staircase on a high priority too. Because they can't grab these last 3 levees without that. I'm excited, chat. We're almost done the game. Where were you, and why did you take so long to come and do that one dynamite? It's like they were waiting for the dynamite to be made, and then decided to come over and pick it up after having a low battery. Hopefully this person builds that dynamite, which they are. Alright, chat, hold your ears. That's the last thing we need platforms for, and stairs. That's there. I'm gonna let them sit for a little bit before we do all that dynamite. I do want to make sure that we have enough to do so, which we do. But I also want them to work on the levees a little bit. We'll get them to do the small amount that I have them prioritize, which goes to this layer. There's another bad tide approaching, which does mean that we still get power, although we won't get the power from right here. It may be worth adding in power on this side so we can still get that. Do we have 5 tiles of space here? It's 5, 3, 4, 5. We have enough for 4 wheels. So I do it from out here. 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then that means this would have a That's not the right size. Yes, it is. That'll be a 1. We also need a way for the power to connect into over here. And also a way for us to build in this area. So let's do that there. We actually won't need this portion. Yes, we will. Never mind. Stair. Stair. Path. Path across there. Power to here, and then we need to go up 1, and that connects us in. And then we add the wheels. Did they start putting in the dynamite? For a second it looked like there was a couple dynamite placed in. But there in fact was not. Did they get to the edge of what I have them highlighted? No, they have 2 more to go. They have to go to this one. Canola oil is almost full. We're 3/4 full of this tank. Canola seeds have gone down quite a bit, though. So hopefully when we're finished the canola oil, we start stockpiling the seeds again. All of our foods are maxed out. I don't know why my kohlrabis are at 2.5. I guess because of the farmhouses. Did they finish the last one? They did. So they only have 5 more buildings, or 5 more of these. That needs just 1 beaver. That needs to be hammered, 1 beaver. We need 3 beavers to come over with logs, and 5 people to come over to hammer these. We have 2 beavers swimming over. Look at their legs. They just rotate like a paddle. And here comes a beaver bot to hammer a majority of them, I hope. Nope, just 1. That's awesome. So now everything but this last one should have all the logs it needs. I'm gonna guess this slow moving one has the last logs. Yep. Oh, that's gonna be done. They're working on this again. They're only about 250 left, 241 gears left. So let's raise the priority on this area. I didn't realize that Paintbrush is above my head. The kitten, who is almost 11 months old. I'm guessing that's the bot that's going to build this. No, that's still the bot that has the logs to build this. That whole entire time, they still did not get over here all the way. If that's actually what happened. How did you get stranded in there? I'm gonna leave them there. They did something stupid. Because there's no staircase to get over here anymore. Yeah, they're gonna be stranded. Unless I put a staircase right here. Oh, that needs to be a double staircase. This is gonna be a little bit tricky. And they're actually going to be stranded because of the power there. No, they won't be. This fits in with the narrative that dupes are dreaming this. It really does. Only I think that the beavers are arguably more stupid. My chair just break? There's an Aerodactyl in chat. No, it's a weird thing to worry about midstream, but I leaned in the chair one way and it felt like the chair sank. I think I might need a new chair. They should be getting close to the first... No, they're not. They're not. I was gonna say they should be getting close to getting to the first wheel, but they have 4 tiles to go. We're almost to a point where this guy can be saved. Iron bot 988. Never mind, they're gonna build this. They're gonna have to wait a little bit longer for them to be able to get saved. This is still getting worked on, which is perfect. That's what I want. I want this to be worked on as well as the other things that we have getting built. We're less than 200 gears away from having the first third done. We're within 700 metal blocks. We have 200 saved. Treated planks, we're 800 away, and we're not really making them as quickly. So we probably just filled in all the treated planks that we had, and we're now doing the gears and metal blocks. We are halfway done, though. The total amount. we're almost within 100 gears. And we are not lacking gears at all. If anything, we have too many of these gear workshops because I kept building them thinking that we needed them, when in fact we needed power for them to work at 100% efficiency. We should need less gears than we have planks. So I could probably get rid of a bunch of these, which I'm actually going to do. Get rid of all that stuff. Alright, what's going on with grease? Is there anything in the storage? There's not a single piece of grease in there. There is no grease in there. So we're going to tell them to focus on making this. That will re-add the power in to the other 3 buildings. And I'm going to ignore the rest of this because they're going to take a little bit since we're waiting on treated planks. This stuff they should still be working on. Doesn't seem like they are, though. We are within 28 gears. About 600 metal blocks. We're not too far behind having enough metal blocks to finish this. Look at the effect radius of this. I'm pretty sure if you do the small map, I think we did the largest map, or one of the largest, I mean. But I think if you do the smallest map, this is the entire map radius. I got the other gear factory, or grease factory in. And looking at the log, we have made more beaver bots than there are Pokemon. We've just made Iron Bot 1141. For those that don't know, there's 1025 current Pokemon. Not including alternate forms and Mega Pokemon, stuff like that. I just changed what the Pokemon look like. Bad water, we're full of stocked, so I think we could have got rid of one of these pumps and been fine. It does not look like they're doing this at all. That's regular priority. Not out of planks. They shouldn't be focused on this 100%. They did finish all the gears, so they should be only focused on treated planks and metal brick or blocks. So we're probably going to run out of metal blocks because they now can focus more on moving them. It did get slightly bigger. We're within 500 metal blocks. So what is pulling them away? We have more than enough people to do this and the other thing. Just because it bothers me a little bit that we don't have this unlocked, I'm going to unlock it, but we're going to keep this as regular beavers. That's what she said. Okay, percuss. While you're here, how's your vintage storage server doing? I haven't checked in a while. It's going alright? That's good. Eventually I will be, I think, streaming Vintage Story again on my channel. Not as part of the story, but, Wellbud Grapefruit has a server that I've been playing on. I'm almost done making my main base, and eventually I'm going to be turning an island, a small island, into a town where, each different thing that you can do is going to be a different building. So there's going to be a tannery for leather. Going to be blacksmith, obviously. We have the stone quarry mod, which allows us to use spiles to get large chunks of stone that we can move later on and do stuff with. So I'm going to have a stone quarry or stone mason building. Haven't decided if I'm going to do a lumber mill, but I might just to store like extra logs or stuff, and maybe a forester built into the same building. Definitely has to be a dock. Farmer. Maybe a milling building for turning grain into flour, stuff like that. Or stones into lime. I have a lot of ideas. It's pretty much going to be following off of how we did Vintage Story on this channel, or the story. But a little bit more in depth because I have more access to things. And we're on the newest update so far. You did the RA. I forget what that acronym means, but I know it's the first lore thing. That it's the cave, right? That has the robot at the very bottom. I'm forgetting what it's called. Doesn't matter. Then you did the Lazarus. You got to the village, and you're gonna do the devastation at some point. I'm wondering when they're gonna add in the next lore point, because I remember them saying that they're gonna add in a third thing. Like the devastation would have been the end goal of the second area. Oh, 124. The next number is what adds the next one. Oh wait, no. 2 away from now. We're at 122. So the next update is about combat. The one after that's going to be... Is it going to be all about lore or just more lore? I'm happy with either option. I still don't know why they're focused on this when we increased... Are they not able to get over here? They're able to get over here. I don't know why they're not... Do this now. The whole point of us doing this during the bad time is so we can get power right now. We don't need this done. I'm about to turn this back down below the priority of the levies. Are they doing the levies? That's why. Well, then why were they doing the levies in the first place? They should be focusing on the The platforms which don't take logs. Something weird's going on here. They can't get over. I didn't put a single path. It all makes sense now. The next chapter of lore, got it. Chapter 3 of 8. That's pretty cool. They're planning on 8 different things. So now they should start coming over here and doing all this again. Fortunately, it's all going to happen after the bad tide ends, because there's no way we're going to put in 2 wheels before the next day is over. Even with the beaver bots going throughout the night. So they should still be working on this, and now they should be working on this in the background. They have to do 3 more platforms, and then they should be able to start working on the first wheel. Because they can work diagonally, but they have to be standing in this tile. They shouldn't be able to do this until the platform is in. You know what? I am going to high prioritize all of this. Which actually we don't have to high prioritize it, we can do medium priority now. Do I tell them to do dynamite over here? How much dynamite do we have? We have a lot. Oh, it's not the right platform. There we go. And I'm going to put in a bunch of paths just to make sure that we have enough. Now they're going to do all this dynamite. They are doing quite a bit of the levees. They're more than halfway to the first dam. But the bad tide is about to end, and we need to make sure that this works correctly, because I think this is the first bad tide switching into temperate weather that we're able to notice if this doesn't let any bad water out. I don't remember if the last bad tide let water out. So that turned off. Oh, we know it did work the last time, because I remember us watching this and it was red on the left side and blue on the right. So it lets out a tiny bit of water, or bad tide. Now we should be up to more than enough power to run everything. This stuff will just keep us floating during the bad tide. While we're doing all of the dynamite, metal blocks and the treated planks get a chance to catch up for a little bit, because they're not focused on this. We can only hold about 180 of both, right? Metal blocks is 360, so we increased that. If we get our metal blocks completely filled in the storages, we will have enough metal blocks to finish this. The same is not true with the treated planks, although it would get us very close to the treated planks being complete. So maybe we lower this so that anything else is built on top. And we can mess around with the priority system here. So that's the first thing we want done. Second thing we want done is all of this, which is the lower color green. Then after that, we want the levees done, which is not colored at all. Levees are done, this gets done. So we have things prioritized in a way that our last 4 things to do are in the right order. Now, we were doing the dynamite over here just so we can add more power. But with the way that things are looking, we may not need that that done. We'll have to figure out during the next drought. And this should be overflowing again already. Although it doesn't look like it is. I'm surprised they're still putting the levees in over there. I am tempted to blow a lot of this dynamite before they finish a whole section. For the top section, we're waiting on 3 slow beavers, which I think are the 3 that are moving in now. Actually 4. There's 2 here. They're making the 4th one there, and this guy's going to that one. Would it be worth doing another building for planks and blocks? Probably. Let's add that to the list before making the building. All we need to do that is power connection. So let's put it up here. First one, metal blocks. It's a 4x2 building, so it can connect to there. And then this right here. We'll put this on the raised priority, but not max, so that the dynamite's done first. We have a lot of people over here not charged, but we have 28 unemployed beavers, so I don't think it matters. What's going on right here? Why are you not getting water? Oh, we just don't have the bot in there doing stuff yet. So they could be walking over or something. Would it be worth adding more builders? How many builders do we have? We have 4 in the district center. And then we have 4 in each of these, if I didn't do the wrong number. Yeah, we have 4 in each one of those, so that's 7 times 4 is 28. Let's put in a couple more builders. Or put them on the raised priority and make sure that spots and that they have paths. Or else the buildings won't work. That'll give a reason for another 12 beavers to be used. We are getting to a point where I'm starting to get concerned on how many bots are not charged. We do have quite a bit more than we had before. So what I'm going to do is come down here, because this is all power connected. And we'll raise the priority of that with the dynamite. They'll still finish the dynamite first, because we told them to build the dynamite. Like we did the queuing of the dynamite before the charging stations. The only way to get them to do it over top of the dynamite is to lower the dynamite. And I'm not going to do that right now. We're not necessarily struggling for bots. It's just another one of those charging waves where everyone that was made around the same time dies around the same time. The charging stations spread them out. Our metal blocks and planks are about halfway to the point where we are ready to raise the priority on the other building again. And that's without putting in the additional 2 buildings. I think we still want the additional building for at least the planks. So I'm going to go over here and flip the buildings. We'll only put in this. Because we're more than what the storages can fix. They did a very large amount of dynamite. In the matter of, what, 2-3 days maybe? If it wasn't for this being so far away from the dynamite storage, we would be able to get this done a lot quicker. And I think, for YouTube's sake, I am going to split this stream into 2 parts. Right where we had the break earlier. Because that was around the 2-hour point. Because this is probably going to go into a 6-hour stream. I figured that might make it easier for them to get all the way down here to do these. They don't have to go up and around and come back down. They're almost done. I think it's funny, the beaver bots that aren't dead battery, or that don't have dead batteries, they get here so much quicker. Where is the beaver bot for this? Is that this person? Nope. That should have been done before any of these. Unless they became a dead battery when they picked up the dynamite. Well, they only have 4 more dynamite, which should mean that no matter what, they're doing the stuff down here, which they already have done. They've actually just finished all the builder huts, which means that they did the charging stations as well, which should be getting us through this backlog of beaver bots with no battery. And this was just made so we're making more treated planks quickly. Resin, we're starting to run out of resin now. We probably could have did better with more trees. We're fully stocked up in canola oil, if not slightly lower. So that should mean that we're starting to stockpile canola seeds. That probably means that they're coming down here to do all these, which they should be focused on the power wheels, right? Yes, they are. It's just they can only do one thing at a time up here. Oh, they should be putting in the wheel. The wheel was built before this, right? Actually, no, it wasn't. I think we did all the platforms before we put in any of the wheels. That's alright. They almost have all the logs in this. And this is a pointless power source for right now. Do we have enough metal blocks to turn this back on? I don't know the math, so I'm going to do the exact number. We need 245. We do have enough metal blocks. Treated planks, however, we need 668. We have enough storage for half that. I'm going to raise the priority on this. Since we will be 2/3 done. And as that gets completed, are they working on this already? They are working on that already. So they're doing this first, then the big building, until they at least put in all the metal blocks. Then they'll start slowing down because they'll be waiting on treated planks, which means that they'll start doing the levees more. I'm surprised they're not doing the wheel. We need 2 more planks before this wheel's done. Although it doesn't really matter because we're not in a bad tide. That should be the last planks that we need for this. This is now ready to be built. I should say ready to be completed. How are you going to hammer it a few times? This is so much a duplicate behavior of hammering it majority of the way and then leaving for somebody else to come back and do it. Now a whole swarm of Beaver bots came over because they could do a whole bunch of these platforms at once. I guess it takes them a while for them to log that so many people can come over to do it. I wonder if there's a way to make this... Oh, the way that the power poles rotate. I wonder if there's a way that you could get the poles from one thing rotating in 2 different directions. Right now, this is always spinning counterclockwise. This is spinning clockwise because it's geared, so it switches direction. But also, wait a second here. These 2 gears are spinning the same way, but that doesn't make sense when this is going down. That is coming up. Unless they made it so that the teeth don't technically touch. They did. They were smart enough to do that for the animation. But technically the power drive is at the bottom. Well, it's at the bottom for the one on the right. I don't know. Complicated stuff in there. This would be done if someone could give it 3 planks. This is getting completed. They're still working their way over to this last one. Alright, where is this beaver bot that has one plank? Right there. This one has two, so do they only need two in this? No, they need more than two. Where are you going? All the way down here to put one plank in? We do have a backlog now of grease, so that's slowly going up. We should see it in the storage. And we do. Did we put all the metal blocks in yet? We did not, but we're getting close. We're about 139 away. We have more than that in storage. Our treated planks are we're not even there. Do you have one? You do, but I doubt you're going to be the one we're waiting for. Yeah, you were the first one. And that was the last one for this one. So with this done, they should be able to build everything. Once they can move one more closer. I went to the wrong area. This only needs 4 more metal blocks, and then that's completely done. We need about 225 treated planks. Taking a while to get 4 metal blocks over here. But that's where they were. There was one dead battery bot going over. So they should also be working on the levees, which they are. They pretty much finished the whole front face of the dam here. We're just waiting on 2 beaver bots to bring over 3 logs each. I think by the time that this is done, we'll have the dam done. They are not able to build everything all at once, but they have to do this bottom platform before they realize they can build this as well. Now they should be rushing over to do both of these. The 1 log for the power, and then all of that. And 6 planks. Here goes the flood of beaver bots. Alright. I don't think we have to look at this anymore. Because it's just a matter of time before they get that finished. This, on the other hand, I do want to kind of focus on. Especially this one levee that is not yet hammered in. We have a flood of dead battery beavers. And a bad tide coming. So luckily we have those power wheels done. They're not all done, I'm surprised. 9 more planks. No, sorry. 7 more planks. And I'm going to assume that between the 3 of these, they have the 7. Oh, I forgot. All the dynamite. Why are these not done? Why are they on a lower priority? That was weird. I'm going to detonate this now. So now I have the ability to try and put 25 engines out here. What's an easy way to do this? I could do 5 rows of 5, 2.5 rows of 10. I think that might be the easiest. We have to go down one. How'd that go over one? Oh, stop. Come on. I let go. And then what I'm going to do over here is I'm going to put a bunch of storages for wood. How long does it take to do one stew? Oh, come on. There you go. Now this is all buildable. That's completely done. These are probably about halfway done. So I want to high prioritize all of this. And then we have to figure out a way to get this connected into power. I don't know what the easiest way to do that would be. I'm guessing bringing it across this. We want power there at least. Actually, if we put that away. We could just go down. That would allow us to do pretty much all of this, except for that. And nobody should get stuck. Oh, we also need to prioritize these all back homes. This should all be... yeah, that's all right. And then power, getting all the way over there. There is a ladder going down. So I just want to make sure that I can go... all the way around here. We want to get rid of that entire path. We want to add one down here. That leads us to this. One thing I want to do is switch as well. And I want this to be automated to level 1. But hopefully as everything's being built, it's getting turned off. Welcome in, White Aphex. Good to see you, first time chatter. Unfortunately, I'm not 3D printing anything right now. We were doing 3D printing a lot. We do it mostly around Christmas time, around December, because I have a school bus full of kids. So I 3D print them things for Christmas. But during the summer, I don't usually have enough plastic saved up that I can do stuff. Now with this, we should be staying afloat. Yeah, we're a little bit under. But we're doing okay. How are we doing with this? This has gotten very large. We are within the last 100 treated planks needed for this. And we have pretty much all of them. So I'm going to come over here to the storage once I can zoom out. I don't know why I was stuck. And I'm going to tell them not to do anything with this storage or this storage. Actually, if I tell them to max priority all of this, we could have the power spine connected together before we block ourselves out. Because they can walk through this before it's built. Yeah, as soon as they build that, we can put in these last two pieces. Okay, let's put in the power up here. That goes to right there. Then get rid of this. And we build that. There comes the one bot. Build all that. Put that in, and then everything else should be built the way that they're doing it right now. So far I have everything set up to the correct switch. So I switch on... Some of them move? No, we just must have had another thing built. How are they doing on this? I don't think they got any closer. What's the priority on this? Raised. Okay, well, I want to raise the priority of the power supplies. And the levies. Which will mean that they do the levies before they do the power. And before they do this, so they're probably going to drop doing all that power stuff. Which we should be okay, because we're still getting power from the bad tide leaving. If we were in a drought, we would want to do the power stuff first. But we're not in a drought, so we're in no rush. And with them solely focusing on the levies, they should be doing it very quickly. Since we have about 30 beavers doing this. More than 30? Do we have 40? 16, no, 12, 24, 32, 36. 36 builders. And this is all logs. No planks, nothing that we have to produce. I still think it's funny with how many builders we have. The amount of bots that don't have a dead battery do maybe 5 levies before the bots that we're missing get here. But if we can finish this in 4.5 days, We'll have this fill up while we're building the other stuff. And we do have another 100 beavers that are doing nothing. I am very tempted in going to delete this. And put a bunch of builders right here. I thought I went far enough north. I did not. So I should start immediately building these. Because they're not the same priority as this stuff. That'll give more beavers something to do, and we should be building stuff more. Or quicker. Now something I do see we're having an issue with is grease again. There's a Rhyhorn in chat, if anyone's another Gen 1 Pokemon. Oh, it could be down to the power. We're not making enough grease. I do think we have more beavers, so what I'm going to do is destroy both of them. Place another one of these. Come on, where are the last 3 years? Are you the person with the last 3 gears? You were. Now we just need someone to hammer it. Anyone. There we go. How are they doing on the levies? Oh, they have maybe 10 levies left to do. 2, 4, 6, 8. Oh, I actually guessed it right. This needs 1 beaver, 2 beaver, 1, 1, 1, 1. So these 6 now all need just 1 beaver to come over, because each beaver bot holds about 3 logs max, I think. 7, 9, 10. We need 10 beavers to come down here. Now, 7, not including this one. And we got this done before the drought, or before the temperate weather came back. Both of these are ready. Waiting on 6 beavers to come down here. I see 4 total right now. 5th one coming this way. That's probably the last one. I just saw an icon pop up. No, that must have been going home. Huh. This one's done. This one's done. This one's done. Looks like he's going for this one right here. Yep. We're still waiting on one more beaver. There they are. So far away, but still making their way over. So this is going to be done during this day. They filled in all of this. They also trapped somebody. And by they, I mean I did. Let's put one of those right there. High priority, nobody else is trapped. Power. Almost all the way in. They just need one more log right there and then they're done. Are they unable to reach that? No, they can reach it. They already did because this is now working. Once they place this in, then those two beavers are unstuck and we can do the last log, which just needs somebody to hammer it. So they should be all working on this. Look at how many beavers are on this one thing. Jeez. It's just a matter of time before they finish this. So chat, I'm going to go into the to-do list while we're waiting for this to be completed. And I'm going to change it to being oxygen not included related. Because we have now completed everything, maxing, well, we did max happiness. What we're looking at right now being built is the final monument, which then means that we built one of everything except for fireworks. I don't care for fireworks, so I wasn't counting that. It's also not a thing that we need. It has nothing to do with happiness of the beavers. We will max out water after one more day when the bad water finishes, or the bad water tide finishes. And then that leaves the end goal, which requires this monument. So, when we go back to Oxygen Not Included, we're going to be working on opening the temporal tear. Hopefully, I spelled tear right. So chat is going to disappear, on screen at least. Because whenever you update stream elements, it deletes everything that's stream element related. We're at 98%. %. And we finished it. So now the first 8 beavers that are gonna get thrown out of here. Einsmod, Taco, Javila, which is not one of us. So it's really only 3 people that we know. Einsmod, Taco, and Wubby. The other 5 beavers are unnamed. And they're just waiting for... They need even more treated planks for this. Are we still making that extra building, or using the extra building? We are. So we're still doing 4 things of treated planks. Why are the gears so low? That's weird. I didn't realize that this was going to take more wood. So what I'm going to do right now is we are going to pause every pod. And with this, we fill in our water again. And we also flood this area. So what I'm going to do is go to every blockade and break one piece of it. There should only be 4 blockades. So that was the first 3, and then the last one would be the dam that's right here. We shouldn't really drop in water level at the top part, because we're already refilling it. If anything, we're just making the water flow a little bit faster. Where is it filling in? You can see it moving in this area now. Which means that it's already starting to fill in this area. How far off is this? Quite a bit still far off. Not enough materials to launch. Well, why are you not getting materials to do so? And there's no way for me to prioritize my haulers either. We have to see that at least shoot off one plane. Is this raising at all? It is, okay. But we're gonna stop growing beavers. Still not getting things in there. I'm gonna turn this on a high priority. I don't think that's gonna do anything with filling this in. This has not enough materials to launch. I get the planks portion, but we should have enough berries. Where are the berries? Berries are over here. That's cassava. We have almost 1,200 berries, and all 500 aren't in here. So I don't know what's going on there. Is this over top yet? No, but it's getting close. I don't think we want to sit here and wait for that. Is this getting... It's not getting anything more. What if I switch it to bots? Maybe bots being all day long will give it more. It does seem so because they're adding more to this a little bit quicker now. And we're starting to flood the area down here. I'm hearing a cat crying. I don't know if it's Mama or if it's an outside cat. Is this gonna fill in with water? Yeah, kind of. It's not really a hole to fill in. How's this sound? Still getting more. Starting to flood there. This is almost flooded. Mama? I don't know. Well, that is now flooded. This will now fill in with the water. This is still taking forever to fill. It shouldn't be taking this long. We have the berries. I'm going to switch this back over to being regular beavers when we get to that point. We're almost full of the berries. Traded planks, we have about 60 shy of what we need. And with how slowly they're bringing the traded planks over, we'll have enough. Or we'll make enough by the time we get to the 500 mark. Why are we not filling the berries? I think we now have enough treated planks. So we're just waiting for them to fill it up. Berries are now filled in. I think during the next day we should have this ready. So I'm going to pause it when it's full and then switch it over. Second thought. Pause it now. 2 planks shy of being ready. We'll let them dance their heart outs for the final time. We still have Taco wanting to fly as the first beaver in here. We just need somebody to bring over 2 planks. There we go. Are you ready, chat? We're gonna slow this down normal speed. And we're gonna launch this for the first time. And I think this is going to shoot out 1 person in every direction. So the 4 cardinal directions and also the corners. And then it all folds back. And there we go, we finished the game! And unfortunately I can't do a clip of the entire thing. I was going to try and do a clip of the machine working the entire time, but it cut out about half of it, so... Anyway, we completed the Iron Teeth. This is what the map looked like when we first started, if you guys can see it. I know it's hard on the phone to see something this small. Days passed, we spent a total of 1,075 days in the game. We had 1,238 beavers born. We had 169,340 things of water drank. 9,469 tails painted. 112,797 trees cut. 37 teeth chipped. 1,361 beaver bots created. 5,214 dynamite detonated. And 3 total beavers exploded. Now, it doesn't just specify if it was regular beaver or beaver bot. But either way, this is now the end of the game and the end of the stream. I mean, have you ever done the Meander map on hard difficulty? I have not even tried hard difficulty. Meander, I think I played it way before Bad Tide was added. But anyway, this is the end of our map. We increased the water up to the level of the highest river. So if this were to completely fill in, actually, I think it's close to overtopping. No, it's not. It has a little bit. If this got up a little bit higher, it would hide the power distribution area thing that we have here. So when we come back in the next stream, we're going to be going back to Auction Not Included, where we'll be doing one task only, and that is to open the Temporal Tear so that we can further our story more. Once we open the Temporal Tear, we'll be sending some duplicates through it in a rocket, and then that will lead us into the next story, where we'll be playing yet another thing of Auction Not Included, but with the Frosty DLC. Hope you guys are excited for that. I don't know how long it's going to take us to get the Temporal Tear opened, but I'm hoping that on Sunday, in 2 streams, we will be getting into a new game of Auction Not Included. But anyway, let's take a screenshot, and of course, it's going to be about our beavers. Let's save the game for the last time. Shady Acres Beavers. Let's wake up from our dream by going into our raid out scene. Thanks for watching. If you'd like to catch me live, I stream on Twitch on Wednesdays and Fridays from 10 AM EST to 12:30 PM EST, and on Sundays from 10 AM EST to 2 PM EST.